so not progressive. You're the worst skater in the world. I'm not learning anything. I'm not talking to you.
He's talking about me, dude.
I'm talking to the people. This is what I do when I feel like I'm sort of like stale. I'm not learning anything new. I really need to progress. This isn't a, I'm only doing new tricks, blah, blah, blah. This is sort of like how I get kind of inspired or come up with stuff to learn the new tricks. And a lot of it has to do with just like really think about the subtle differences between different tricks and trying to combine them. Probably the best way to like get a feel for board control that you can exploit later. So today I'm just gonna do some
combos.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I'm gonna try to do some new stuff too, but basically just to get better at skating. Like this is honestly how I think I get better. So first thing I thought of, it's such a stupid trick, but I've been doing a lot of feeble to 5-0s, Smith to 5-0s, 50-50 5-0s on rails. I'm gonna try to learn a feeble to 5-0 on a ledge. What isn't even a thing. I'm gonna go back feeble and try to lift it up and see what happens.
He does all the illegal stuff. Oh!
But that's not a thing.
Yeah.
It was really easy, actually. Sliding front grip shot.
What?
I don't know if I've ever done that before. That's not the point, though. The point is, I'm taking tricks that I can already do and do variations. All right, so I've been playing a lot with board slide, or rock to 50-50 stalls and 5-0 stalls. I want to try to exploit that to ledges, so I understand now, and here's a part of your skateboard that a lot of people don't know about. And that is, when you're here, this right here does that. That's how you, if you don't have deck rails, same thing. This right here does that.
That's pressure on your toes.
So if you put pressure here and you just do a little sliding back, look how light I literally am just, that's all it takes. It's the lightest little, and you're there. And what I want to do is go from here to here in feeble, which I've done before, but I'm going to try to 270 out, and then I want to try to go here to here to here, and then ultimately I want to try to go from here to here to here.
Oh my.
So it's not even about learning these tricks right now. Like, you're not going to see, this isn't going to be some epic battle where I'm going to not stop skating until I learn them. I'm going to play with them and then move on. I just want to get familiar, because sometimes when something's not working, you can walk away, you can daydream about it, and then come back, and then you already have that trick in mind to play with the next day.
I do that at work when I'm bored. I'll think of the tricks I'm trying to learn and like mentally break them down.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times too, people, they go to the skate park and they're just stuck in the habit of the tricks that they always do.
Yeah.
And they'll daydream about tricks, but then when they go to the skate park, they never play with them. And so like this is basically not even forcing myself to play with it as much as like, I thought of playing with this. I do want to do my warm-up tricks. I do want to do the tricks I always do, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to play with this, and then later I can do the fun stuff. Right now I just want to like...
This is your pre-workout.
This is my pre-workout. And it's like, it's still fun.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, you know, low effort. So I think let's try to get into the feeble real quick.
What?
I swear to God, I'm not joking.
This is our first try. Like, I haven't stopped. It's you know.
I swear.
This is one take.
This is making me look so good at skating right now.
This is one take.
Well, I want to go to 50-50. Okay, here's where I lose it, because I tried this one earlier and I couldn't figure it out. So I plan to cheat a little bit. I plan to go to feeble for a millisecond and then turn to 50-50. If I'm here, when I do it on transition, it's very fluid to that.
Right.
So I want to just kind of like, can't even do it with my hand. I was here like maybe a month ago and tried to learn this and I couldn't do it. See, now this one doesn't seem to want to work, so I'm going to try one more, really slow it down to try to figure out the lock-in, and if that doesn't work, I'm just going to try the board slide to feeble to barley, because even though that's a more difficult trick than the 50-50, sometimes that shit just shakes loose. Sometimes it's just like, oh, that all of a sudden works. I accept. That's okay. Moving on.
What? That was crazy.
That really almost worked.
Dude, that went like all the way through.
Damn. Yeah, I'll do that one. Yeah, I think I can do this. It's like a good, this is good proof that just because you don't have the building blocks to a trick, or you can't do a slightly easier version, doesn't mean that the one that's more difficult is out of reach. Sometimes your body just wants to naturally move a certain way. Like, I remember I could not back feeble to save my life and land like the forward.
Really?
But I could 180 out, I could shove it out, and I could big spin out. when I go to forward on rails, my board would always flip over every single time. And it wasn't until I learned feeble and then lifted up and sit in a 5-0 for a second that I realized, oh,
You unlocked it.
It's a millisecond. But the other point is, like, I was doing more difficult tricks.
Yeah.
Technically, maybe not 180 out, but the feeble big spin's definitely way harder than a feeble.
Yeah, 100%.
So don't be afraid to play with tricks that are like, they don't look like they're in your reach, because sometimes they're actually
You have to
there.
try them.
Yeah, and this, for flip tricks, that comes up a lot, because I remember I was stuck in kickflip body varial for a long time. I could not straight kickflip.
Really?
Yeah, but
When?
I landed my first 360 flip. I landed my first fakie big flip. I landed my first switch varial heel, like all before I figured out kickflips.
Wow.
And my first switch flip trick out of all of them was switch varial heel, because I had a friend who could switch kickflip and he could switch heel flip, and he was learning switch varial heels. And I was just watching him, and all of a sudden I just remember I was at Van Skate Park. I was 14. I was padded head to toe in Potomac Mills, Virginia, and I saw his feet were hanging off all crazy, and I just set up like that, and I just donkey kicked it, and the board flipped right next to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, it's 10 more minutes, and then all of a sudden the trick was mine.
Yeah.
And what's also fun about this is when you don't have an end goal. I know it's kind of counterintuitive to go into a trick thinking, I don't even really plan on landing it. I just plan on putting my feelers out.
Yeah.
You will be so surprised on how much falls into your lap. I say, don't spend any more than 10 minutes on a trick unless you're coming stupid close.
Yeah.
This one, I might stick it out for a little bit, but honestly, I'm not even afraid to walk away from this one, because it's well, now I know that one could work.
Yeah. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, when to walk away.
I want to learn front hurricane shove. Man, that actually felt kind of good.
That's crazy.
So I want to learn. I'm going to go front hurricane and then
Shove it
just
out.
Fakie shove. And this is the trick and I'm being dead serious. I would probably never do this on anything, film it. I don't think it's a cool trick.
This is just to
show. No, it's board control. It doesn't matter. You never know when this trick will come in handy. Maybe there's a variation of this that I might figure out on accident. But I'll spend maybe 15 tries on it. Yeah. Okay, so what am I doing wrong? Yeah. Here's something to think about. If you're doing a trick like this, whether it's a Smith or something, and you're trying to lock in, but you keep ending up in a board slide instead of getting your truck on top, especially when it involves pinching. Sometimes people think ollie higher.
Yeah.
And then when the ollie higher, they
overshoot it.
Sometimes it's this.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll back 180 and press my toes down like Pee Wee Herman dance style. And if you come at it like this, even if you undershoot a little bit, there's a little bit of room to play.
Yeah.
The wheel's already angled up that way, and I'll just kind of. Yeah, that's all it was. Just angled a little more. The sled's kind of sticky. Here's something else to think about when you're landing tricks. When you're really having trouble getting into the grind, or the board's not spinning right or flipping right, playing with your feet on the setup can actually make a world of difference. There's been so many tricks where I'm the kind of skater who really likes to be spread out when I get into tricks. I don't know if you ever see the way I kickflip. My kickflip is so close. My kickflip's here.
That's bizarre.
And my ollie's here. Everything is very close together, but there's so many tricks, and backsmith's especially one of them, where I have to put my foot here. I guess it's because it makes the board kind of go up a little bit steeper, and I can kind of throw it easier in the air, I guess. I think that's why people can, when they ollie high, they usually have the foot further back. Even though logically you can have your foot anywhere, I think back here it's a little bit easier.
It does help though, for sure.
So I'm going to bring my foot back a little bit and really focus on this in the air.
Yep.
Okay. 50-50.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
you got in though.
And then as I go to do the shove it, I'm going like this.
Ah, you
I don't want to be up there. Some days, and this is such a bad example, I already did a bunch of them really fast. That's super out of the ordinary. I'm not even feeling particularly great today, but it just worked out. But there's definitely days that I will come to this exact skate park and try to do this exact thing.
For this trick?
Nothing. I won't make any of them. Yeah, I'll just play around. When nothing works out for about an hour and a half, then I'll just skate for fun. Not that this isn't fun, but then I'll just
you leave it to come back to it.
I like coming here and just 50-50ing this flat bar over and over again.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will see me skating at a park and they think that like I'm gonna be like
a machine,
just trying. But like a lot of times, dude, I come to skate parks and I just like find like 5 tricks that I like doing.
Yeah.
And I just do them over and over in a row.
He likes scratching around and like hitting everything and having
I like
fun,
little
playful
taps.
stuff.
Yeah, I like playful stuff.
Yeah.
Not saying that getting better at skating or hard tricks aren't fun for me, but more often than not, man, like I just really enjoy just scratching around. Even like skating down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like owling over sewer drains and stuff like that. Like sometimes I'll leave my house and I'll just go do that.
Really?
Yeah, without any restaurant or anything in mind to go to. I'm like, I'm gonna go skate around. Now, mind you,
I haven't done that since I was like 16.
Oh, it's the best.
I gotta try it.
That is the energy that you need. I feel like a lot of people fall out of love with that, or at least they forget about it.
Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm only skating at the skate park or street spot.
Yeah.
I'm not like skating to like cruise or
Yeah,
go down the
skating to
beach or
cruise is
something.
the best. I mean, think about how many spots you find on accident.
I found a spot the other week, actually.
Really? Were you just riding around?
Yeah, that flat gap at Huntington Beach. You know?
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
yeah. Yeah, that's sick. So funny on how sort of staying close to like being a soul skater, as stupid as that is. But like, you know, like just like skating for like fun and trying not to put pressure on yourself really is where a lot of progression is. You can go the other route and like train at skateboarding, and that is what you would need to do if you really want a career in skateboarding.
Yeah, that's like Olympic boy
But
type
it's
stuff.
just like, dude, if you're not already like the big fish in the little pond, don't even bother. Like, this is how you get better at skating, and it's just fun. You're not stressing out all the time. Because I've been having a lot of issues lately filming videos where I get really angry. I'm like focusing shirts. And I put this stupid pressure on myself, and it's like, I just got to remember.
Have fun.
Like this progressing, like my whole goal in skating is I want to get as good at skating as I possibly can, for the sole purpose of being able to do the most tricks when I go to a skate park.
Yeah.
And this is how I get there. I play around, and if it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna move on. So 2 more tries to the hurricane shove.
Oh.
Oh! I'd be dumb not to try like 3 more. And if I don't come close in the next 3, then you walk away. You give yourself like, if I come close, bonus 2 tries.
You know, this reminds me of, you know, when people play poker machines and they're like, no, come on, I gotta get it. And it's just like,
it really is.
You're playing it down.
Like, come on, cherry, a bar. Damn.
Walk away.
I suck at walking away.
What you want to do?
You already know.
Bet it all on black?
All right, 1 more, all black. The house always wins. Okay, we're gonna move on.
That's the odds of the game, you know?
So, I was here one day, and I saw this dude doing switchback side nose slides on this rail. He was like, just roasting them, and I thought it was so cool. And I think switch nose slide, backside nose slide specifically, is such a simple trick to do, but it gets overlooked a lot, because it's almost like, switch crook's the trick to do.
Yeah, why would you want a switchback nose slide?
But when you're in switchback nose slide, when you stand it up, you have the control of a backside blunt slide. And I can flip out of blunts, and I can do a lot of tricks out of blunt slides that I can't do out of regular backside nose slides. So I'm thinking the way to get around not being able to do any flip tricks out of nose slides is to just start doing a switch. Because like if you do a switch nose slide, you're essentially a tail slide on a ledge.
Yeah.
Or blunt slide on a rail. So I'm gonna do a switch nose slide on this, see how scary it is on the flat bar, and then go from there. That was a really good try.
Woo!
I mean,
chillin'. Big
I
chillin'.
didn't have the control that I want though.
Oh, dude, your wheel went into the gap.
I saw it. That's all it is. I'm trying too hard. Trying too hard is always the enemy.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, I got scared. Oh, that was annoying. Okay, here's how you break the fear of flat bar trick. Just try to get on at the beginning.
That's his hack. I don't know if it'll probably work for you guys, but he reckons get on at the beginning and the fear will put you in the right place. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm leaning into it the way I want,
Yeah.
but not the way I won't want. Okay, here's how I'm gonna make myself really lean into it. I'm gonna try to do switch nose slide and pop over. Because in order to pop over, all my weight has to be to the scary side. Okay,
Oh yeah.
tried it.
Yep. Oh, what?
I'm so stupid.
Oh, that's cool.
What?
That was cool.
You think that's cool?
That was sick, dude.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. What was that? Switch nose.
Nose slide kick turn?
Yeah.
You see that start off with a curl?
Yes, look at that. Woo! Oh!
I always do the feeble to barley grinds.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, sometimes this would like the board slide feeble to barley grind that I learned today. So I want to do I tried it earlier, switch feeble to regular Smith.
That was it, no?
I mean, I love that I always say I mean. Yeah, we're taking it. Try switch feeble to switch. It seems awkward on the ledge. This is one that I thought about a bunch and I never really sat out and tried. Because 180 out's so natural. Kind of like what I described earlier. Like my switchback feebles on rails. I had the same problem with the regular back feebles, but now it's switch. So like I've done switchback feeble big spins and shoves, and I have done switch feebles to regular or back to switch, but definitely a lot harder than 180 out. I think I need wax.
Get the wax.
I don't want to. It's way
It's
over
right
it.
there, dude.
It's so far. I'm just gonna do it now. I gotta think. Switch feeble, lift it up to 5.0 for a millisecond.
Getting closer. Oh,
Big tip.
big
If
tip.
you're having trouble getting off your grind like I am,
Uh-huh.
like if you're having trouble getting to the end of the ledge but you start grinding it, or you get in a bad habit of jumping off for like a couple tries in a row, I'll pretend the ledge is longer and I try to grind past the end of the ledge.
Ah.
And that'll make me usually grind off the end and jump off, but then it's like, okay, the muscle memory is there now to grind off the end. That's helped me so much with so many tricks on flat bars.
Yeah. Come on.
Not bad, Ollie. I am consistently getting the right pinch though.
Yeah. Just get it done, mate. Get the wax, wax it, and let's do it.
Sometimes I get stuck in my head and I don't like changing anything about what I'm trying. And it's like, oh, now I gotta get used to the wax, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, honestly, I know that this is gonna make it easier. It might take a slight adjustment to get used to, but...
And we live in California where you're allowed to wax things, so, you know,
Yeah.
take advantage.
Yeah, take advantage. You wanna wax something, dude? Just come to California. How neat would it be if I just like did it first try after waxing?
You're about to right now, mate.
Just like proof that like I am my own worst enemy.
Alright, guys, just waxed up the ledge, and let's see if we can get a first go. Oh, I spoke that into existence for you.
Like, of course. Yeah, it was just whack. Lesson learned. There is this thing where it's like, you know, 2 to be true, and then 3 to be free.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna play the rule where I did it. I understand the trick up here, so I'm gonna try one more, and if I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't.
Okay. Yep.
Wow, I kind of
Double or nothing.
I'm kind of stoked. If I was actually expecting to not land it to make the point that like I need to practice walking away when I just know that that wall is going to be unreasonable to climb versus the amount of energy that it's going to take out of that day.
Yeah.
Because I think it is very important. I see a lot of people get burnt out on skating because they're so focused on getting out of their own trick list and they want to get something new so bad that they won't kind of play with the stuff that they already have. They get too focused and discouraged to learning new stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like you got to walk away, and I'm like the worst perpetrator. I never fucking walk away.
He doesn't want to walk away. This
Never.
guy.
How many times have I like, if you had to film me trying to learn a trick for fucking like
Last try.
last try, and it's never the last try, and I do usually end up getting it.
Yeah.
I usually keep going until I do it.
I was thinking about this the other day because you do a lot of crazy hard stuff, and it's like, what if there's a trick you haven't done in 6 months, and you're like, I'm just going to do this, and you just think about it and then you do it. Like, how do you?
What do you mean?
How does it?
Like when a trick's really hard for me to learn, but then I come back to it and it's there.
No. Like, say if you're trying to do a line and you're like, I'm going to do this trick, then I'm going to do this trick, but I haven't done the last trick in about 6 months. Like, how do you just remember to like?
Just do the trick?
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, I'll just play with it, and if it's there, it's there. A lot of times, here's a great example, and hopefully who's ever watching this video watches my channel. enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. Sean, you haven't seen this. We went to a spot in San Diego, and there was a gap that I wanted to varial flip, and it was about 6 high, 8.5, 9 long. It's longer than it is tall, but the run-up's downhill, and the last sidewalk block has a deep crack.
Oh my!
And I just wanted to varial flip it for YouTube. I was just like, man, I haven't flipped my board down anything since I got hurt last.
Yeah.
I want to start doing that. Also, I have an 875. I haven't done that yet, and I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't make myself try it. I wouldn't fling it or anything. But I was like, okay, let me try it in a line. And the line's going to be like a little bit long. And Haley was just like, you're going to be too tired by the time you get to it. A good bit of tricks before it. And I was just thinking to myself, I know if I get to it, I'm going to commit. And the first time I got to it, I stuck the varial flip. The second time I got there, I stuck the varial flip. And then I think I landed it third try. And that was sometimes the tricks that you just learned. A lot of times it's like fear or not expecting to land it holds you back from landing it. You need that overabundance of confidence.
Yeah, confidence is just like boom, boom, boom.
Well, that's the thing, though. I disagree. I think I am a huge coward when it comes to skateboarding. I just pick the right battles.
Okay.
Like, I really work in because, like, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go to the skate park, it's going to have a 10 stair, and I'm going to do my tricks on it. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a trick I can do on it, it's going to be one that is super wide in my head, and it's one that I really want to do. But I'm not a brave skater. I just really dissect stuff until I understand it. And I think that's why I have an advantage now on learning tricks fast. It's not because I'm naturally gifted at skating. I'm definitely not. I was the opposite for the longest time. It's that I take notes on every single thing that I do. When a chess player plays chess, now online especially, you can go back and study your games and see where you went wrong.
Wow.
I constantly keep track of like, okay, try to remember that when I try to pinch on that side of the truck, but my body weight's over here, it doesn't work. Remember that. Or a lot of times it's the way you think about the trick that is what makes it learnable. Yeah. Like sometimes it's like, I come back to this example all the time, but with Bennett grinds, when I think back 180 to Willie grind, I think that every single time, and I never miss a lock-in when I'm thinking that. But when I'm thinking Bennett grind, I'm just going to do it, I'll slip in the front board like probably like 3 out of 6. 3 out of 6. Why didn't I say 1 out of 2 times? So stupid. But like, yeah, so sometimes just how you think about it is how it's going to work. And in the example of the switch feeble that I just did, it was taking my own advice of trying to grind past the end of it, which was actually advice that someone else gave me. Josh Holtz, I was trying to notice grind a long ledge at a skate park, and he said, just pretend that the ledge is longer and you'll get off the end. And I did it the next try. And that has always stuck with me. So yeah, that's just like a bunch of random advice facts.
But it's like skateboarding is all mental.
Skateboarding is mostly mental, and the physical aspect is literally just almost, it's a give and take of muscle memory. It's destroying muscle memory and replacing it with muscle memory. Yeah. That is so much of it, because it is so much harder to fix a trick or relearn a trick than to learn it for the first time. Like, people...
Bad habits.
It's crazy to me that people talk about my kickflips. Like, I see comments and stuff like that on places that's not my channel where it's just like, yeah, Dan Corrigan's kickflips. Yeah. And if you knew me before I moved to California or talked to any of my friends, that is fucking hilarious.
Why?
I've had notoriously the worst kickflips in skateboarding.
Really?
Yeah, I've always had really mob kickflips to where I would hard flip stuff because hard flips naturally mob and you get your feet out of the way and it makes it look tweaked. I just had mob flip tricks for the longest time, and it wasn't until it took me a solid year of unlearning kickflips to learn how to kickflip right, and it was real effort. It wasn't like, I remember to try to fix my kickflips today. Like, no, I was fucking trying all, because I had so much built up of like, I have to do like this, and it's not that I didn't understand it, it's just that I couldn't make myself fix it, so I had to move in small increments. It literally had to be like this. Okay. My kickflips are mobbing because I'm leaving this foot too far down. So now I'm going to do a mob kickflip with this foot higher. Oh. And that alone, okay, do like 100 of those. Okay, figure that out. Okay, now I need to catch it with my back foot. And then I was doing mob kickflips with my back foot. And then I was like, okay, now I have to flick later so it bones down.
So it bones,
And it was, I swear to God, if you go back on my Instagram far enough, you can see a post where I just post a couple flat ground kickflips. And it is like, I remember watching the kickflips over and over in like the most conceited way possible because I've never had the kickflip. I've never had it the way I wanted it, and that was, absolutely the best. And so sometimes you're in for a real war, but I honestly think playing around is the best way to, because I think a lot of the people who watch my channel aren't out there to be the dude. I think they just want to get better at skateboarding.
They just want to progress. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to learn more tricks because the more tricks you have, the more fun you
more
have.
fun
it
you're gonna
really
have.
is. And this is how I do it. It's a no stress way. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I put way too much pressure on myself. But lately, I had a conversation with Haley where I was like, I got to calm the hell down.
Yeah.
And I think I'm on that path. So yeah.
Path to enlightenment, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for filming. Sean filmed this. Go check out his channel. Obviously, I'll link it in the description.